In the early days of Jesus' ministry, as his fame spread across the region of Galilee, he entered the bustling town of Capernaum. This lakeside town, a center of commerce and Jewish learning, was vibrant with life, its narrow streets filled with the chatter of merchants, fishermen, and families. It was here, within the walls of a synagogue, that one of the most compelling demonstrations of his authority would unfold. It was the Sabbath, a day sacred to the Jewish people, reserved for worship and rest. As was customary, the people gathered in the synagogue to hear the reading and teaching of the Torah. On this particular day, Jesus, known as a rabbi with extraordinary wisdom, stood up to teach. His voice, steady yet filled with an undeniable power, captured the attention of all who were present. The crowd marveled at his teaching. Unlike the scribes, who often recited the traditions and interpretations handed down over generations, Jesus spoke with authority. His words carried a clarity and conviction that penetrated the hearts of his listeners. Many began to whisper among themselves, wondering who this man was and how he possessed such wisdom. Among the congregation that day was a man possessed by an evil spirit. He had lived for years under the torment of this unclean force, ostracized by many and feared by others. Though he had entered the synagogue with the rest, the presence of Jesus stirred something deep within him. As Jesus spoke, the spirit's agitation became evident. The man's body trembled, his breathing grew erratic, and his eyes glistened with an unnatural intensity. Suddenly, the man cried out, his voice distorted and filled with fury. "What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." The crowd gasped, their attention shifting from Jesus to the man. Whispers rippled through the room. How could this man, long afflicted by an evil spirit, recognize Jesus as the Holy One of God? Fear mingled with curiosity as all eyes turned to see how Jesus would respond. Jesus' gaze fixed on the man, but it was not a look of fear or disdain. Instead, it was a look of authority and compassion. With a voice that was calm yet commanding, he rebuked the spirit. "Be quiet. Come out of him." The synagogue fell silent, save for the sound of the man's anguished cries. The evil spirit convulsed him violently, and then, with a final, piercing shriek, it departed. The man collapsed to the ground, his body still and his breathing steady. For the first time in years, his face was calm, free from the torment that had plagued him. A wave of astonishment swept through the synagogue. People murmured to one another, their voices filled with awe and disbelief. What is this? A new teaching, and with authority. He even gives orders to evil spirits, and they obey him. The news of this miraculous event spread rapidly throughout Capernaum and the surrounding regions. In the marketplace, by the lakeshore, and in the homes of the town, people spoke of Jesus and his extraordinary power. Many who had dismissed him as merely a teacher now recognized that he possessed an authority unlike any they had ever seen. The man who had been delivered from the evil spirit became a living testimony to Jesus' power and compassion. Once shunned and pitted, he now walked among the people as a transformed man, his life restored. He shared his story with anyone who would listen, speaking of the moment he encountered the Holy One of God and was set free. For those who witnessed the event, it was a moment that challenged their understanding of the world. The scribes and religious leaders, long considered the guardians of spiritual authority, had never displayed such power. Jesus' ability to command even the unclean spirits revealed a divine authority that could not be denied. This event in Capernaum marked the beginning of a series of miraculous acts that would define Jesus' ministry. He would go on to heal the sick, restore sight to the blind, and even raise the dead, each miracle pointing to his identity as the Messiah. Yet, for the people of Capernaum, the memory of that Sabbath day in the synagogue remained etched in their minds. It was a day when the authority of Jesus was revealed not through force or coercion, but through his words and his compassion. It was a day when the forces of darkness were shown to be no match for the light of the Holy One of God. And it was a day when a man, once bound by the chains of evil, was set free to walk in the fullness of life. As the sun set over Capernaum that evening, its golden rays reflecting off the waters of the Sea of Galilee, the town buzzed with stories of the extraordinary rabbi. In homes and marketplaces, people shared their astonishment, and many began to wonder, who is this Jesus of Nazareth? Could he truly be the promised Messiah? The story of Jesus driving out the evil spirit from the man in Capernaum stands as a powerful reminder of his authority over all things, seen and unseen. It is a testament to his mission to bring freedom to the captives, light to those in darkness, and hope to a world in need of redemption. For those who believe, it is a story that continues to inspire faith and trust in the one who commands even the forces of evil to obey. But the story did not end there. Over the following days, the synagogue's transformation was palpable. Many who had been present that Sabbath began to seek out Jesus, some out of curiosity, others in desperate need of healing or answers. The man who had been freed became a beacon of hope to others who suffered, and he led many to seek Jesus themselves. Word reached neighboring towns, and soon crowds began to gather wherever Jesus went. Fishermen left their nets, farmers paused their plowing, and merchants set aside their wares, all eager to witness the miracles and hear the teachings of this remarkable rabbi. Among them were the skeptical and the hopeful, the devout and the desperate, each bringing their questions, burdens, and fears. In the days that followed, Jesus continued to demonstrate his authority and compassion. He healed the sick brought to him by their families, touched the outcasts no one dared approach, and spoke words of life that left his listeners transformed. His presence brought a profound sense of peace, even as it stirred the hearts of those who resisted him. The man who had been freed from the evil spirit often followed Jesus, not out of obligation, but out of gratitude. He became a witness, his testimony sparking hope wherever he went. "I was lost," he would say, "but he found me. I was in darkness, but he brought me into the light." He is more than a teacher. He is the Son of God. As the weeks turned into months, the memory of that Sabbath in Capernaum grew into a cornerstone of faith for many. It was a reminder that no darkness was too great, no bondage too strong, for the authority of Jesus. For the people of Capernaum and beyond, it was the beginning of a new understanding of God's power and love, one that would continue to unfold through Jesus' ministry, his death, and his resurrection. Even today, the story of Jesus driving out the evil spirit in Capernaum resonates as a testament to his unmatched authority and boundless compassion. It reminds us that he is the one who brings freedom to the oppressed, healing to the broken, and hope to the world. His light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome.